In previous part of the lesson about JSP scripting elements in directive, we have learned that application servers such as Tomcat automatically generate Java code for us in servlet based on the HTML text we put into the JSP page file, and each line of HTML text will be converted into a live Java code, which is outright in servlets corresponding to the JSP page file. However, what we have seen in the example of that previous part of the lesson is just a small part of what JSP can do for us. And in addition to HTML template tags, we can put a number of Java code elements in JSP to generate dynamic content. And in this part of the lesson, we'll discuss directives, commands, and scripting elements. And in later lessons, we'll cover Bean's expression language and custom tag libraries. The first thing I would like to mention is directives. And here is the syntax of directive. There are three parts in this syntax, and in order to easily to see the different parts of the syntax, I use different color for different part. And here is the first part. This is the second part in orange color, and the third part in blue color. Here is the type of the directive, and we have three types: page, include, and taglib. In this part, we'll discuss page type, and we'll discuss these two types later in different lessons. And here is the attribute of directive. Notice that there are two parts in the attribute, and the two parts are connected by this sign, the equal sign. And notice that there are no spaces before and after this equal sign. In the first part, we use several symbols. Here is the less than sign, and this one is percentage symbol, and this is at sign, and we have percentage symbol here, and this one is larger than sign. And now let's create a JSP file in Eclipse to see how directive is used. So we go to Eclipse, and we create a JSP file. So let's create new and JSP file and leave a name here. So we suppose this one is test JSP, and next. And here we need to choose the template for this JSP file, and there are many templates here. You can choose different templates here. However, we should choose these two templates, JSP with HTML markup and JSP with XHTML markup, because HTML and XHTML are formats that we are familiar with. So here I choose XHTML, and okay, we here next, and yeah, we choose JSP with XHTML and finish. Okay, you can see here Eclipse automatically insert a page directive here. Okay, this is page type, and there are several attributes in this page type, in this page directive. And this one is language attribute, content type attribute, and page encoding attribute. Notice that there are no spaces before and after this equal sign. and this one is attribute name, and this one is attribute value of the language attribute, and the attribute value is inside this quote. So now let's see some page directives. Okay, here we have this page directive. This one is import attribute, and the import attribute is used to import some Java packages for scripting elements. I will explain scripting elements later in this part. And notice that this one is comma. Okay, so we can have several value in this value part, and those values are separated by the comma. And this one is content type. Content type equal text / HTML, and this one is to specify the type of the content of a page, and this one is page encoding. Page encoding is for specifying the encoding of a page, and this one is session, and session equals false in order to disable the use of session for a page. So this directive is called page directive because it specifies information that affects a single JSP page. Okay, so that's all for the first thing of this part, directive. And now let's move to the second thing, the comments. Okay, so we have two types of comments in a JSP file. The first one is called hidden comment, and the second one is called output comments or regular HTML comments. And for the hidden comments, we use less than sign and percentage symbol. And this one is the common in server side. We call this one is common on server side because the text in these comments are not sent back to the browser. And this one is, and this comments is called the common on client side, and we call client side because these comments are still sent back to the browser, and you can see this comment by doing a view source on a browser. So this is the second thing I would like to mention in this part. And now let's move to the third thing I'd like to talk about in this part, which is JSP scripting elements. We can use scripting elements to embed Java code into JSP. And we have three types of scripting elements. We have JSPExpression, JSPScriptlet, and JSP declaration. And now let's take a look at the elements that can be embedded into JSP. And here is elements of programming language. We have comments, we have literals, we have variables and types, operators, expressions. Expression is anything that's evaluated into a single value. Statement, for example, if-else statement. Functions, classes, and packages. And now let's take a look at some example of expression. For example, 1 by itself is an expression because this one is evaluated to a value, a single value, which is 1, and variable x by itself would also be an expression because it is evaluated into a single value. And a plus b minus c, these are expressions. And especially a plus b double equals c, this one is also expression because this one is evaluated into a single value of true or false. This one is a Boolean expression, and here is not an expression anymore because this one is actually a statement. And in JSP, you can use this syntax for embedding Java expression. Okay, you can use bracket and percentage sign and then equal sign. And an expression in JSP can be converted into this line in method JSP service out of print and Java expression underscore JSP service. And here you can see the picture. In this picture, you can see the JSP expression in here in JSP file, and this expression, JSP expression, is converted into this line out of print and then Java expression as a parameter of this method. This one is in the underscore JSP service method in the servlet that is converted by Tomcat from this JSP file. So that's expression. Now let's move to the second type of scripting elements, which is JSPComponent. And here is the syntax of JSPComponent. We have open bracket and close bracket, and here is the percentage sign here, okay, and the Java code inside this bracket, okay. Notice that all the code in the scriptlet goes inside this method, the JSP service method. So here is an example of a scriptlet. You can see here is the Java code, and this Java code is inside open bracket percentage and close bracket percentage. And here is another example of scriptlet. Now let's take a look at the third scripting elements, which is JSP declaration. And here is the syntax of JSP declaration. We have open bracket percentage sign and then exclamation, okay. And notice that all the code in the JSP declaration goes outside JSP service, and we can use this declaration to declare a variable or declare a method inside the servlet class, which is converted from the JSP file. Okay, so now to sum up what we have learned in this part, let's take a look at an example. In this example, we use JSP to perform a very simple operation, which is a plus operation, and let's run this application for demo first. Okay, run on server, and next, and finish. And okay, we need to type the name of the JSP file. Okay, we have add.jsp. Sorry. Okay, I need to type the add from HTML here. Add from.html. Okay, so here we have the add form, and we can type in 5, for example, and 6, and then we add, and then the result is a string that is sent back to the browser, and this string is the sum of 5 and 6 is 11, and we can perform this application using this JSP file. Actually, we already perform this example by using servlet before, but now we use JSP to do this. So here is the code. Here is the summary of the code in this example, and this is the end of this part about JSP scripting elements and directives.